Hello and welcome to all. A Bengal tiger being ridiculed in front of its prey, a dog running down a snowy slope in a very special way, or a model gets a makeover without knowing she was being filmed. Here are the 10 most unusual sequences caught by a security camera. Our doggy friends often tend to go where they shouldn't, much to the displeasure of their owners, because they know that they will have to pay the costs if there's any breakage or possibly dive into icy water in the middle of winter. This blood-curdling sequence comes from Texas, a state more known for its heat waves and arid plains than for the quantity of its snowfalls. However, when the temperature drops below zero, Texas quickly becomes a real icy hell, and even private swimming pools turn into frozen lakes. And as you'll see soon enough, this transformation is not without danger, especially for this mischievous young dog named Christy. Noisy and extremely curious as usual, Christy quickly realized that the pool where she sometimes swam in the summer has been transformed into ice, so she decided to go for a little slide, probably thinking she was a sled dog at that very moment. But the poor dog could not know that the thin layer of ice could not support her weight, especially since she has largely abused the kibbles lately. And crack! Suddenly the thin layer of ice gave way under Christy, who quickly found herself in a very bad situation. Fortunately for her, her dear master is watching over her, and it's all dressed up that he throws himself into the cold water in defiance of the danger and hypothermia. The valiant master was finally able to save his dog from drowning, and after a good hot chocolate in front of the fireplace, the two companions will not even keep any memory of this dangerous icy misadventure. The Bengal tiger is a super predator, which makes the whole jungle and its numerous inhabitants tremble, and even the powerful elephants fear it. All of them? Well, not really, because this intractable monkey that you see perched on his tree will give the big cat a hard time. And you'll see on this hilarious sequence that even the king of the jungle can be rudely mistreated to end up falling from above. The tiger of this video, very hungry at the point of wanting to hunt a very thin prey, is indeed not at the end of his troubles, because on the top of this tree, even his skill and his legendary flexibility will not be able to match those of the small primate. The latter, assured by its lightness to be able to go on the most fragile branches without breaking them, can thus taunt the big cat, which is conditioned by its weight. The adult Bengal tiger weighs in fact not less than 200 kilograms on average, and up to more than 250 kilograms for the biggest specimens. But as you can see on these pictures, the huge tiger does not give up hunting, probably hoping to make a small snack with monkey brains. And what had to happen happened. The unfortunate tiger lost its balance and fell with all its weight on the ground. Don't worry, because the big cat didn't feel any physical pain because of this fall, but his ego took a big blow, especially that the mischievous small primate is laughing all the top by saying himself very probably, "Such is taken who believed to take." You might be bored of having seen so many funny videos on the internet, but we can really assure you that this one will make you laugh to tears. Take a good look at the sweet little doggy who valiantly climbed a snowy mountain with his master, a seasoned snowboarder. Once arrived at the top, here comes the time of the descent and the slide. Admire the extreme agility of this little canine acrobat who runs down the slope at full speed without even using snowboarding equipment. It is indeed in the manner of a Shaolin monk that this doggy undertakes the descent, lining up pirouette after pirouette, the whole at a crazy speed. The dog tumbled down to the bottom of the mountain, of course without getting hurt, because we know now this doggy is really a high-level athlete. Usually, when we accidentally hit a car while trying to park our car, we leave a card with our insurance number and everything that goes with it. It is indeed the most honest and acceptable behavior in such circumstances. But go and tell that to this young furious woman that you see on these surprising images, because it seems that she has never heard of civism and traffic rules. The sequence shows us this woman who, while trying to get out of a parking lot, hit a car that was passing quietly behind her. This could have been avoided, of course, if the young driver had only taken the trouble to look in her mirror, which is the least she could do. But instead, the Sunday driver tried to run away in reverse in order to not have to pay for the damage she caused. This certainly did not please the other driver, who literally decided to get in her way, even if it meant getting hurt or worse. Fortunately, nothing serious will happen, and the dishonest woman will still manage to escape without the other driver being insulted. Of course, her license plate was well captured on video, and it is only a matter of time before the police officers ring her doorbell to ask her about her driving. Let's just hope that at that moment she won't be driving a car, because you never know what can happen with such people. The mystery of chocolate bars disappearing from stores has finally been solved, thanks to this unusual video which comes straight from a well-stocked drugstore. Indeed, we had been told many times that these delicious crunchies and other energy bars filled with chocolate and hazelnuts were disappearing. But in the absence of evidence or any clue, these repeated thefts remained an unsolved enigma for a long time. But thanks to this incredible sequence, we were finally able to get our hands on this long-elusive candy thief. Look at this mischievous little squirrel, who reminds us of the adorable chipmunks and their joyful sisany. It is indeed the small mammal, which is at the origin of these flights, as this video can testify. This mischievous little animal indeed took advantage of its size to sneak into the stores without being spotted, and then steal the precious chocolate bar filled with calories and hazelnut chips. Here is one of the weirdest and most impressive videos you will ever see, and without any big surprise, this sequence comes from the United States, the country of free men and of the crazy drivers. Filmed on the 91 freeway in the state of California, the surreal images show us a minivan driving at full speed, with a racing motorcycle stuck in the hood. Yes, you heard me right. This vehicle is dragging a big bike with it on the highway, causing a huge trail of sparks behind it. The motorcycle, which was probably hit by the van, was indeed stuck in the hood of the heavy vehicle. But instead of stopping to investigate the damage and try to remedy this unbelievable situation, the driver of the gray van decided to run away in order to not have to pay for the damage. Fortunately, the rider of the motorcycle escaped unharmed, but the same cannot be said for this two-wheeler, which literally broke apart because of his frantic race on the highway. Another animal sequence for the following video, and the least we can say is that it is rather funny. Look at this nice cat, who is training hard for the next edition of the Feline Olympic Games. This adorable and athletic little cat is indeed taking advantage of the rear bumper of a car to do some exercise, and not just any exercise, please. The sporty feline is thus muscling his abs, in order, undoubtedly, to display a beautiful chocolate bar on the abdomen. History to please the pussies of the region. As you can see, he repeats the same movement over and over again, with more grace and perseverance than a seasoned bodybuilder. And at this rate, it is sure this incredible tomcat is going to be able to beat all the records. Hands down. Pause up. On this sequence, you will see that the abusive use of psychotropic substances can seriously harm your cognitive abilities and your power of discernment. In fact, subscribers, we strongly advise you never to say yes to the use of drugs, at the risk of ending up like this poor fool in the video. Look at how this poor guy ventures onto fresh cement, no doubt believing that he is walking on clouds. The workers who were cementing this alley did not believe their eyes when this poor drugged completely in the vapes started to trample and to get stuck literally in the fresh cement. The unfortunate man, who probably doesn't even know where he is, certainly thought he was walking on the moon, leaving footprints that will be visible for the future generations. But the South American Neil Armstrong has nevertheless made a small step for him, but a big step for these unfortunate workers, who will be forced to redo all the work from the beginning. Nowadays, most gas stations offer self-service systems with payment by card. The pump attendants have almost disappeared from the scene, and each motorist has to fill up by himself, which is not always as easy as it looks. On this sequence, which comes to us from China, you will see indeed that some drivers, a little bit clumsy, can cause situations, to say the least, inflammable. This truck driver, for example, who is obviously trigger happy, is going to give his colleague a hard time, even though the poor guy didn't ask for anything. Indeed, while trying to fill up the truck, the Gaston Lagaffe driver will literally spray his colleague with highly flammable gasoline. The unfortunate man was certainly not expecting such a cold shower, and the suffocating smell of the powerful fuel went very quickly to his head. Look at him running and trying to remove its clothes under the shock, which in this case is a very bad reflex because the sparks produced by the static electricity of his clothes could well have transformed him into a human torch. And as always, we reserved the best for the end, a bit like dessert after a good meal. The sequence was filmed by accident during an outdoor shooting, and let us tell you that it is well worth the detour. This gorgeous young lady, who most likely plays the lead in this production, decided it was time for a little makeover. Taking advantage of a general break, the young coquettish actress then takes out her makeup paraphernalia, which obviously never leaves her, even when she's shooting. Taking advantage then of the surrounding calm, the young woman conscientiously redoes her makeup, without knowing that one of the cameras was always filming. The result is, however, splendid enough to appear in the trailer of the film, and this scene, very probably cut in the editing, could even make her win an Oscar, or at least be worth a juicy commercial agreement with a big cosmetic brand. And that's it for today. What do you think of these 10 unusual and totally spectacular video sequences? Which of them impressed you the most? Tell us in the comments. And if you liked this video, don't forget to put a like and subscribe and activate the notifications. See you soon for new discoveries out of the ordinary.